Okay, it's all go. Just be
He goes to
compartments that you sit around, they're like the bigger ones, and then you just think, I mean, but I have some personal ones that I was
Agenda. Did you get one?
How are you? Good. Got you getting anything else? Whenever she comes up with an idea? This birdhouse. I always love it when she'll show me pictures of things that you guys do. Always beautiful. I don't have an artistic bug in my body. I tried, and I don't.
Yeah, we got an agenda printed. Is there an agenda?
I printed off me a copy. It's not printed off me a copy?
Can we make a copy? I just make one of the copies.
I have a copy. I don't know where to put that.
Yeah.
So I have. Isn't that a certain? You said that it's almost.
It's got to be a second. It's got to be on.
Holy moly. How you doing?
And sometimes it's on the goes in the same. But when there's two classrooms, it's really different. She escapes from her. So fast forward to the future, and she's still got this kind because she's been there. Nobody knows again. She was captured. He's listening to the and she goes to sleep, makes it give her the cases. It's really,
Call meeting to order. Roll call. William Brown. Here. Lizzie Jones.
Here.
Becky.
Here.
Rod.
Yes.
Ted. Here. Dan.
Here.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Participation. Shannon, if we can move this.
Yes. I've got 10 questions here.
All right.
So my name is Shannon Steele. I'm a lifelong resident of Camden and a taxpayer with a direct interest in how this village is governed and how public funds are handled. In June, I submitted written questions to members of council. Some of those questions have not been answered and others have only been answered in part. The responses I've received have raised additional concerns about financial controls, access to village records, and compliance with legal requirements. For those reasons, I respectfully ask council to answer the following questions on the record. Please explain the legal basis for allowing council member Becky Wilson to obtain bonding at the May 7th meeting so she could assist with temporary fiscal officer's duties. Please also explain why the bonding was granted retroactively.
Well, we had nobody to do the fiscal officer job, and when we did get somebody, they needed somebody that knew something about our system, and she was the only one that we had to do anything about our system. So that's why we did it.
So my understanding is that is not legal for a council member to take on fiscal duties.
She didn't take on fiscal duties. She might have supervised, but she didn't push any buttons or anything like that.
Then why did we bond her? Just, I mean, we paid for a bond, just out of
We paid for a bond.
Because she had to be in the fiscal office, with the fiscal officer.
When council, so why was it granted retroactively? The recording says retroactive to Monday, and the minutes just say retroactive with no date specified. So what date did it go into effect?
I'm not sure what the date was. You may remember the date.
I don't remember the
I
date.
think that would be important. So when council approved bonding for Becky Wilson, what duties or authority was she allowed to have in connection with the work of the fiscal officer?
Just to assist her in what knowledge she needed to know, who to call. Basically, that was it. She was just there as a person to talk to that knew a little bit about the system. So, and once she found out about the system, then I don't think Becky went back in there anymore.
Please identify any Ohio Revised Code provision, legal opinion, auditor recommendation, or advice from legal counsel that you relied on when allowing this arrangement. If legal or auditor advice was given, please identify who provided it.
Well, I would have called Ross Brown and Todd and asked if it was okay. They said as long as they wasn't physically doing anything. So that'd be Jack Hemingway, and I would have been the one that talked to him.
On June 4th, Becky Wilson allegedly transferred $750,000 in public funds from an interest-bearing Star Ohio account at 4:53 p.m. under the name of Trina Bronson without the temporary fiscal officer's recommendation and without council's prior knowledge. Please state whether this action was recommended, authorized, or approved by legal counsel or an auditor. If so, please identify who gave that recommendation, authorization, or approval, and when.
The authorization came on Thursday at the council meeting.
That's not accurate, because right before the council meeting, I went into the office, and Becky herself told me that she had transferred the money.
The
We,
money-
And
we,
The money,
I'm speaking, please let me speak.
get it right.
You said that you had transferred the money and that we would vote on it, and when I asked how you did it, you said you did it, and that as long as no one knew that it was done before the vote, it wouldn't matter.
That's incorrect. I
That's exactly what I
have,
said.
for my first public records request, I have papers that show that the transaction was made at 4:53 PM under the name of Trina Bronson.
transaction did not occur until after the meeting. The next
But
day.
the money was removed from Star, Ohio
No,
on 4:53.
not according to
it-
the bank.
Star Ohio's email says that the email was confirmed to be made in the redemption of the underlying account, and it
It was in reserve. It was in reserve.
Can you provide evidence of that to me, please?
Well, we can get it. I got the transfer date.
I've got that too, but I would like what Becky just said, that it was a deferral or whatever the term was. I would like evidence of that, please. Does council consider it a concern that $750,000 in public funds was allegedly transferred by Becky Wilson without council's prior knowledge? Why did it have to be at that exact time?
I myself had great concerns, and that I voiced that, and that's why I abstained from the vote, because I was uncomfortable voting on something that was done prior to a vote.
But it was voted on and it was passed.
Following. Yes,
Well, the money didn't transfer until after the.
it was still done. What steps will council take to ensure that future financial transactions are handled only by authorized personnel and in compliance with law, policy, and proper internal controls?
Well, as soon as we get a fiscal officer hired, they will be the one doing all that.
What are you doing in the meantime?
Well, right now, we borrowed a fiscal officer from El Dorado to run payroll. And that was approved through the county and UAN just for payroll.
Please explain how Becky Wilson obtained access to UAN, OPER's First Financial Bank and Star, Ohio accounts. Please describe what safeguards are now in place to make sure only authorized personnel can access financial accounts and systems.
Well, Becky's no longer doing that. Right now, we got nobody doing it unless we get somebody from the auditor's office.
The question was, what safeguards are now in place to make sure only authorized personnel can access village financial accounts and systems?
I don't understand what you mean. How can we safeguard? We got to tell them that they can't go in there and do anything.
Is all of your usernames and passwords deactivated? Because I know that when we were in there,
The UAN password nobody has except for Karen Hunt, who was from El Dorado, and she received it special today through UAN.
well, I know like the first navigator and when we were trying to work on the access code, Becky was on the phone and reactivated her account. Has that been deactivated?
That we don't know. Yeah.
And when I talked to you, Danny, last 2 weeks ago, maybe you said there were no more transactions. She hadn't had passwords for over a month. But I do know that last week she made one for Trina Bronson through OPERS. So just wanted to point that out.
Jennifer did that.
Jennifer did not do that.
Jennifer did
Jennifer
not do
had no
that.
access to OPERS.
Well, that was the Oprah's thing, okay. We had to get it.
Has that access
Yes.
been removed?
Got one.
Has the authorized user been removed from her name to yours?
No, I couldn't tell you.
I think you should probably know, and could you let the community know when that is done, or me?
Sure.
Who revoked temporary fiscal officer Jennifer Wood's access to the village email account while she was still employed and needed access to it to perform her duties? What was the basis for removing her access? Please also state whether Becky Wilson currently has or previously had access to the village email account.
I don't know if anybody had access to it, unless Patsy had it.
To what? Village
The
email?
village email?
No,
Yeah. I don't know.
Who has access to that?
I don't touch that it's on one laptop, and I
I
don't
know nobody has
touch it.
access to it right now.
Yeah,
I know originally when Trina had left, she had given us her password book, and that was given to Becky and Jennifer to gain access to things. So I don't know what's changed since then.
But how was her password removed from that account, and how was her password revoked from, hers, by Becky?
Are you asking if Jennifer's was,
Yeah,
okay, the technical people did it. Tech Force did it.
Tech Force?
Yeah, when Jennifer was in there, and that was done. Tech Force took Trina's name off of it. Off the
off
email.
which account?
Off the email.
Oh,
Because the attorney did not want Trina to have access to it to see what he was sending to the village.
Okay. Could someone with access to a village email account delete emailed public record requests? What procedures are in place to preserve emails, including public record requests as required by records retention laws? Is the village's policy not to acknowledge public records requests when they are received?
Well, up until Trina was dismissed, all those were taken care of, all taken care of, but they was all looked into. And they tried to keep up with everything. Obviously, she didn't keep up with all of it. And right now, there's nobody in that office to do it.
Okay, these were submitted. As soon as these were submitted, Jennifer lost access to the email account. So just please note that.
Well, I didn't know a lot about what Jennifer did because Jennifer wouldn't talk to me.
I can tell you, I stopped down here 4 different times trying to talk to Jennifer since I've been appointed to council. Never found her here.
Was she,
Jennifer worked a full-time job and came in here multiple times in the evenings. And there was times that Dan Michael had commented that he was not hearing back from her. So when she would text him, she would add me to the text chain as president of council to make sure that there was a third person on there. And those emails were not received or acknowledged in some capacity, which, I mean, as the mayor, you should know when somebody is in here and you should come and talk to her in person rather than on phone or text, but
I never knew
she's
when
gone,
she was
so
in
at
there.
that point.
I never knew when she was there, but that's beside the point, she's gone.
please explain why Becky Wilson, who is reportedly the subject of an ongoing investigation, still has had access to village records. Continued access may create a risk that documents related to the investigation could be altered, deleted, removed, withheld, or destroyed. And who is responsible for gathering and sending records requested by auditors in connection with the investigation involving Becky Wilson? Have the auditors been told what level of access Becky Wilson has and has had to village records?
The auditors have had any requests that they required or asked us for, we gave them. Trina did, Jennifer, to my knowledge, did.
I know that there was an issue where the state investigators were looking into a list of things that they wanted pertaining 21 and 22. And Trina did not have a key to get into the storage room because she asked me where it was and I showed her where it was locked. And she didn't have a key to get in. And she said that she had had a conversation with you and you said you were just going to let Becky gather the information so that she could send it off.
What you mean she didn't have access to the key? The key was hanging in her office.
We looked for a key that said what it was for the basement storage room, and we could not find any key to go with it at the time.
I've used that key to let the auditors in when they came.
Yeah,
I think he's in the office.
it was in the office.
But that day in particular, we could not find the key, we went through the key. I just know that one day.
I can't answer about one day.
And then I wanted to ask Becky one last question. Have you destroyed records since Katrina left?
Have I destroyed records?
Mm-hmm.
No. Why would I destroy records?
Just asking.
I mean,
No.
technically when Trina left and you were cleaning up and organizing, you did throw documents away. Does that classify as throwing away records? Because there were
I didn't
paperwork.
throw away records, I threw away garbage. She had garbage in her desk, empty bottles, boxes.
I'm not referring to that, I'm referring to the papers that you were going through. Because when I asked you if you were allowed to do that, you said that there's just extra copies and nonsense that she didn't know how to keep.
Yeah, if there were extra copies, yeah, but not original documents, no.
Are we allowed to do that, or do we have to follow the destruction policy of having a company come?
You can throw away copies as long as you have the original document. It's just like emails. If you print out an email, you can delete it off the computer as long as you printed out that email. And you have it.
That's what I'm asking you.
So I'm raising these questions as a concerned resident and taxpayer who cares deeply about this village of Camden. I and others intend to continue asking for clear answers and accountability until residents can be confident the village leadership is acting transparently, lawfully, and in the public's best interest.
Thank you.
I got a question for you. You think when your husband was up here on council that he was transparent?
I think that is irrelevant to this particular conversation.
I don't think it is. I think for 3.5 years, the old council was responsible for everything that's been going on
You
here.
have no idea what transpired that led to the actions that they made and the decisions that they made. You were not privy to
Okay.
that information.
So I am privy to know that there was $350,000 moved from general fund to the water fund, and it was never voted on. Your husband never voted on it. Why did he bring it up then?
I don't know that, I have no idea what he knows and what he didn't know. You can ask him.
We can't very well attack a spouse. That would be like you yelling at Scott because I posted something.
That's
on
fine.
Facebook.
She's trying to do a gotcha moment on Becky.
I am not. I
Yes, you
am
are.
trying, this is a village that I have lived in my entire life. I and many of us are very concerned about the direction of this. And if your method is to attack citizens, then there is a problem.
I'm not attacking nobody. I'm just saying that there's responsibility that this new council don't have. We got a responsibility to clean up what was made. And for 3.5 years, it went on.
Shannon, have
They-
you ever been a council
For
member?
3.5
I've
years.
never been a council. I don't know what has.
For I'm
This
just
is
making a
not-
statement
This
here.
is absolutely none of my
I'm just making a statement.
business.
For
It is
3.5 years.
unfair. This is unfair to be asking me these
You
questions.
don't have to answer that.
Thank you.
But it's unfair to pick on new council too.
These were all facts that I presented tonight.
That's, half of us had nothing to do with, we just got,
Yeah, we
I
just got here.
because the other half of council did resign because of the mess.
think these were all
We had-
actions that have taken place since you became council members.
I'm not on the agenda, but can I just add an addendum? I'll send it. I wrote to you all recently, and I expressed the fact that I know that everyone up here has a passion for this town, and we all do. And I have been very clear about the mess that I thought was here prior to you guys getting into office and taking over. I have said what I thought about the way things were done and competency. I've made that clear. We don't disagree that there's a mess to clean up. We don't. At least I don't. But cleaning up the mess cannot be that we do things that are against the Ohio Revised Code, that are unethical or illegal. We can't stoop to levels that are worse than just an incompetence, which is what was here before. And when I sent you guys that email and I listed all the ref code, I gave you all the links. And you could look it up yourself about some of the things that have been done That's unethical in the state. We can file complaints. We can do things to bring people down on you when you're just trying to make things better. Like, we realize that. I trust you guys. I trust you guys to be doing the right thing. I don't think anybody's trying to make more of a mess than what we already have. But to do that, we have to do everything above board. You have to do everything that's legal, and it's ethical, and it's moral, and it doesn't violate codes and things that can't be done. And you guys have done that. Like, you may not agree with that, but I can list them all for you that I know about. That's been clear. And I know that's not what you intended, and I know that's not what you guys want to do. And what our concern is, we don't want to fix a mess by getting a bigger mess than what we already have.
We're trying not to do that.
And I believe that. I
We're
do.
really trying. We try not to do anything illegal. I call our attorneys, I call the auditor, state auditor, county auditor, and they've been a big help to a lot of this stuff. But
And I
I'm
also
trying to
know
get them both
those
going.
folks have big concerns.
Well,
We
I
talk to
know.
them too.
You're not telling me anything.
They have big concerns as well, not just with what was left by the person that was here before, but by some of the actions that are taken now.
Yeah.
And all we're asking is that you are straightforward with everything that you're doing, and that you follow the codes and follow the rules that the state has put down. And I know it's a hard job. I wouldn't want the job that you guys are doing. You know, I wouldn't want that on my shoulders. I wouldn't. But at the same time, the village deserves to know now everything that's going on and everything that's happening. And we need to have confidence that you guys are doing everything on the up and up, and everything according to what should be done.
And we are
And we can
trying.
talk about like the transfer of funds. That transfer was initiated without any council authority. That's against Ohio code. And I sent you that. And when we talked to the auditors, they were incredibly concerned about that. Like, this is not, you can't make excuses for some of this stuff. And we know you guys don't know. We didn't know either. We had to look some of this stuff up because
I
we
went
didn't
to the
sound right.
bank to get the information about the transfer, and the bank told me the transfer was made the following.
The actual transfer of the money
The money
itself.
was transferred.
But the initiation of the transfer was
Yeah.
before anybody approved it by someone who wasn't in the position. And
But if it-
council member cannot
If we
do
wouldn't
fiscal
approve it,
officer
there-
duties. And that's just to protect Becky. You don't want Becky to get in trouble with this stuff.
We don't want anybody to get in trouble. Everybody out there volunteers for this job. We
Yeah,
try to
no, I
do the
get
best
it.
we can for the community. But you know, sometimes when we don't have the help in here to do it, it's impossible to do. So we do the best we can.
I agree. And I get it. Like I said, I wouldn't want to be having to do and clean up the mess that you guys are having to clean up. I don't want to do that.
Well, we're slowly but surely getting it cleaned up.
I believe it.
Thank you.
Thank
And as
you.
far as the auditor, we don't have the final report back, so we don't really know where everything stands or whatever. And they were still searching for more documentation, so it's a mess and it's gonna take a few minutes.
But I mean, I don't think the people, they're not just auditing like Trina's part. They're auditing for several years
Oh, yeah.
prior to that. Like, it's a big
We get
mess.
audited, we get audited every 2 years.
It's a multiple agency, so we have a regularly scheduled audit that we're involved in, and then we have a special investigation audit that we're involved in. It's two separate things that are going on simultaneously.
All right, thank you. Mr. Yost?
Yeah, as I mentioned to you on the phone, I may defer to Mike, and he's here to represent us. So I'll
Okay.
turn it over to Mike Brubaker.
Mike Brubaker.
We are considering a piece of property in the West Street here in Camden
Oh, yeah.
as a church. We're considering building a building there. We just have some questions, verification of some things so that we know it's okay to go ahead and pursue that property if that works. I've got 4 or 5 things that they're simple things. And the first one we had was we'd like approval of the Camden Village to build a church with this property. It's zoned otherwise or something. And we was wondering if we could get approval of that from the council or the village, whatever we have to do before we proceed with anything.
Have you looked into it? Are you good with it?
Yeah, I see no issues with it.
The Rusty's did with them, isn't it?
Your guys' decision in the end.
What's it zoned there right now?
There is no zone.
Is it out of the village?
No, it's in the village. Yep, it's at the end of West Street.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as it meets property specs to meet the guidelines, Rusty knows all about
Sure.
those.
You'd have to get certain permits, I'm sure, through the county though for church.
I'm sure we would, yeah, that's, we know all that, we just want to be sure that it was okay with disabilities.
Need a motion to okay that?
I make a motion to okay a church to be built.
I get a
I'll
second?
second it.
Roll call. William?
Yes.
Lizzie?
Yes.
Rebecca? Becky?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Ted?
Yes.
Dan?
Yeah.
Okay, that much is approved.
Next.
Okay. The next thing we have, we want to be sure that there's city water available to us there, any amount of water we might need.
There is city water, the village water, yes.
Does it go all on there?
Yes, it's at the end of West Street.
What about
Floating
sewage?
slope.
What about sewage?
Sewage is available, it's a further run, and whoever does the engineering for the project may require a lift pump, lift station.
That was the next question, was the sewer. Thank you for that. And the next question we have is, how does the village feel about traffic flow on West Street? As a church, there's certain times that there'll be a lot of traffic trying to go in and out of that property. West Street's not a very wide street, as you all know probably.
There's also an entrance off of the highway.
Well, we've looked into that, and that don't look like that's even a possibility. ODOT says that they own that, and it's a limited access, and to change that, a property owner has to apply for a different use.
Special use.
Special use permit. Yeah, thanks, Blake. And they said, the guys at ODOT told me, I don't have any, you can't verify this, but they told me it'd be very unlikely that they would approve entrance on the 127 for they would call it a commercial church property.
Yeah.
So, yes, there is access there. And we thought that would be a good thing, but after we talked to ODOT, it didn't sound like very feasible.
How do you feel about the traffic?
Do what?
You know the roads better than any of us.
I
Oh,
know that better than everybody that owns property there.
You guys think
I don't think it would be an issue, but you're gonna have parking at the church. It's not like they're gonna be parking on West Street.
No, it wouldn't be parking on the street, but there will be two-way traffic in there at times, and that's not a very wide street. And there's times where we could have, what we think, 125, 150 cars on a Sunday. It wouldn't be very often, but it could be that at times. And we was a little concerned about cars getting off of the street and getting into people's property. That's our concern, because it's a fairly narrow street.
I have a question, Rusty. The property he's talking about, the parcel, is it go anywhere close to Lafayette Street too, where they can come out on Lafayette too, or is it just gonna come out down West Street going to Liberty?
Well, it's at the end of Lafayette as well, but that's even narrower
Yeah.
than West Street. So we don't think without, you know,
I don't know,
I was thinking about just diverting some of the traffic, not all of it.
Yeah.
If they have two exits, that would eliminate
possibility.
some of the congestion.
I was narrow as well, but it's a possibility.
And they can't get off Liberty at all, right? It's two properties in between.
Yeah, the property dead ends at West Street and dead ends at Lafayette Street. Yeah.
I don't know how we would take care of the widening of the street. To make another lane. There's 4 houses there. They'd have to get approval from the property owners, I'd imagine. I mean, I could give you approval for the first feet.
No, it might make them equally angry, but would we be able to limit the parking to one side of the street only?
No, he's gonna do that parking lot for the parking. They will be
Yeah.
parking on West Street.
But like, if we
Is there any
have it
street
where we
parking
limit
on
the
West?
parking, where we can't, like, just have it where residents can only park on one side of the
No
street.
curbs,
maybe
no
the other side of the
curbs,
street.
Yeah, it's super narrow.
Well, I'm not saying allow parking on the street, I'm saying like, if residents can only park on one side of the street.
It's private property on the other side.
Residents will park on the street, they just park in the driveway.
Okay, if there's no street parking, then
Yeah.
my idea is out of the water.
Yeah.
What is that grace period when it comes to roads? That like you have a road and you know so many feet per side that you can,
Setback?
is that what it's called? I don't know if it's called.
It's an easement.
Easement, that's the word.
That's a project that would have to be engineered. Who's gonna pay for it?
Is that on the list of roads we wanted to look at doing? Okay.
Now that, to me, would be the only issue you would have, would be the
Yeah, it's just the
street.
You may have to have some parishioners, like do some traffic, get them some vests.
The only other thing I could see is if we extend that alley and have that being outgoing and the other road and ingoing for the church.
Yeah, what is that? Is that an alley?
Where?
Right here.
In between Lafayette and West
Liberty Street.
Liberty?
Well, West Street marked, but the next street over, that's Liberty Street. Then the next street over is Lafayette.
Yeah, if,
So there's
if
no
we
alley,
extended.
there's no alley there at this point in time. It may have been at one point in time. It's just field.
You're gonna Liberty, you're gonna go all the way.
Yeah. Liberty's dead.
Bradbury took that over.
Yes.
There we go.
That's owned by somebody, that's their patch land.
This is south.
And right here, if they extended that, could they do like in here, out there, for the time to leave here?
Or that-
No, you'd be taking, this is, don't go into here.
That's what I'm saying, like if that got extended.
You would have to talk to Bradbury's son, and he's not going
So that would, I think, be our only problem is that West Street.
Yeah.
Ironically, I have a church I'm getting ready to put on the market.
This used to be a bar place down here.
Lafayette Street's the old Methodist church, right down the road.
We've got everything good except
Okay.
the street. That would have to be engineered and have to find out who would pay for that.
And we understand that. What we also understand is that as a church, you probably wouldn't be getting any tax money from us because they're usually exempt from everything, which is kind of conscious about that, not asking you to do something that would cost you money and no return on that. That was a concern about it also. That's why we asked, why I want to talk about this a little bit with you. So what you're saying is, as of right now, you would say it would be okay, is what you're saying, if we're okay with it.
Yeah, if you're okay with it, I don't see a problem.
I don't see a problem.
The only problem you would have, the only, I'm just thinking here, is when you, if you're thinking about widening that road, that street is just what it is what it is. If you're widening the road, you're getting into people's properties.
Yeah, we understand that.
So I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think they'll like that too much.
I don't care.
Well, you might not. Other people might.
Two of them first two lots are mine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed at all to that.
We'll just do a turnaround in his yard.
All Saffron Dance property.
It could be a mess.
Yeah, passing line, there you go.
Here's the name and number of a church that's going to be for sale.
Okay, that gives us some ideas. Phil's satisfied with that, but we'll approve it.
So unless they want to think about it and get back with us.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to think about it, get back, we're in no huge hurry.
We already voted okay.
You're okay, it's really just you guys deciding if you want to do it with the narrow road on it or not.
Out of curiosity, what denomination is the church going to be?
It's Old German Baptist New Conference.
Give some of the residents a heads up that there's a new church coming to town.
Me.
Maybe. We talked to, fell down the end of the street, what's his name?
Gary Cooper.
Gary Cooper, yeah. He was very congenial and liked the idea, but he just Gary, I mean, it's just one person.
He's a good Baptist.
Good Baptist. Yeah, I've known him for a good while. Yeah.
Preaching Sunday.
You have any other questions?
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
He's helpful with that, so.
And if you guys end up deciding that you're gonna build and you want it, let us know, and that way we can make an announcement on our website and let people know that there's construction there, what's coming, because people will be very nosy. They'll wanna know what's happening.
That's one thing we thought about, there's been a lot of construction traffic down that street also, since that's the only access. We some heavy equipment that time.
Good drive.
We'll make it work.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Corey Woodcraft.
Good evening, council. How are we doing this evening?
Fantastic. How are you?
Thank you. Really good, thank you. My name's Corey Woodcraft. I'm speaking on behalf of my father, Brent Cook, who's currently resides up in Michigan. He's finishing up his teaching career. He's teaching CAD for a bunch of high school students. And we no longer have the additional family out there, so he wants to relocate. To come down and live with my wife and I and all those grandkids. So we are currently in conversation with the county owns property, the 18 acres right here, that's 127. Are we familiar with that property?
Yeah.
So the questions that we have is the property that's at the, I believe it's listed at the North Lafayette Street. It currently has a barn on it, needs a little bit of help, but we're thinking about building a barn dominium on that site next to that barn, keeping that barn to restore it at a later date. Dad's thinking about 3,000 to 5,000 square foot, 2-story barn dominium. What the intent is that he currently owns 4 houses up in Michigan, and he wants to relocate, so we need to move all of his possessions down here. We need a place to do it. And then the upper floor of the barn dominium would be his residence. So if he's not staying with us for the week or for the weekend, this would be his residence. In addition, the north parcels, we'd like to learn if there might be a possibility to combine those 2 tracts to make it one for a potential future build for my brother and his family to join us. So the intent of buying the property would be to basically bring the family together so we can all be together in one spot. We don't have any intention of doing any major building per se. We don't want to build a neighborhood. I'm sorry. Got a friend here. Hello. Are you doing this to me?
It's very intriguing.
Yes. So one of the things that we did learn about the location that's at the North Lafayette Street is that the sewage is a potential issue. So
You got water, but no sewer.
the water is already on site, and there's no sewer. So
How close is that sewer?
Well, the closest would be towards Camden Way, but that's not gonna work because it's uphill.
That's uphill.
So it would be going towards the new concession stand, back towards the alley would be the best location to tie in.
Several hundred feet.
Yes.
What about McKinley?
It'd probably be about the same distance from where the barn is to McKinley.
You run it back past the, through the ball diamonds and stuff, that's property property.
Yes.
That'd have to be an okay for,
Yeah, I think it might be even closer to the alley there, where the ball line is tied in. Probably closer there than it would be to McKinley.
yeah.
If they're proposing an additional house further north.
Yes. So the 2 lots there at the end of McKinley, now they would be close for them. McKinley would be the best. Yes. Because our water and sewer at the end of all the way to the end of McKinley.
we did get an initial quote from Mr. Buell, and he came in with a number that was a bit on the high side for what their comfort level was. He was talking minimum of $22K to hook up if we go up to Lafayette, and then we need a lift station. And that seems to be more of a deal breaker on our part. We don't want to spend that kind of money on when we're being forced to hook up to sewer. So if there's a possible way to learn if we can get easement access, so we can tap into the league, that would be amazing. That quote came in much, much less. However, we will be looking for other quotes as well. I understand Mr. Gill does a lot of work for the village and probably not pricing it for residential.
Just so I understand, you're talking about the lot where the old barn is,
Yes.
and then the cornfield that's further north of it, that McKinley runs into.
Right, so the initial arrangement right now is, let me share this with you guys. This will help out.
There's 2 lots right at the, Todd selling 2 lots right at the end of McKinley's head on the north side.
Okay.
Side of
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm one short.
Sorry, we'll share.
Okay. So the tract, they've got 3 tracts for sale. The tract at the north end of the property is tract 1 and 2. And we would, initially, I think we'd like to consider merging those tracts together to make a larger parcel. And then eventually building a barn getting and maybe even another garage there for my brother and his family to join us. They're married with 5 kids. One daughter's going to be going to school to be a vet. So she'll be gone for about 8 years, and when she comes back, she's going to want to start her own vet clinic somewhere. Right now her dream is in Chippewa, but who knows where they actually be. Their other oldest daughter wants to be a DJ, which is what I do. I'm a wedding DJ, so she's been able to go to a couple events with me, and she's inspired to follow my footsteps. The other 3 kids are a little on the younger side right now. They don't know what they're going to do when they grow up. But we would like to be able to at least offer this as an opportunity for my brother and his family to come join us, so we support the family together.
We'll have to find out what the cost would be to run the sewage on an easement to the alley that we was talking about before, where the ball driving they in there too.
Right.
Who owns that property?
Let's look at, we'll look at, like Dan said, maybe McKinley. We'll look at the distance from where we want to put the barn in and McKinley and see how far that is versus how far it is to go pass the ball down that way. See which one's shorter, which more cost effective.
Okay.
So let's look at that and see which one's shortest distance.
Mr. Beal did give me a number. It was considerably less than the number of a lift station to go up to the other end to the middle of the lot there. So he said the north property shouldn't be a problem. We should be able to tap into McKinley Street, and that should be all gravity fed.
Yeah.
And he says if we can go to do a gravity fed via easement to the league, then we can get that done much, much cheaper. Which
Do you have Rusty's contact information?
I do.
Okay.
Mr. Rusty has been awesome. When I was out here speaking with the counties, he came out and spoke with us.
Yeah, he is great when it comes on this stuff.
Excellent gentleman.
Hang on just a minute, please.
Yes, sir.
Dan just mentioned a valuable thing, and that was what about fire protection? As far as being able, if you did have a fire back in there, we want to make sure that we would have access to it in McKinley.
Yeah, I mean,
It's right on the street.
it's right there. Yeah, it's not like it's way back there. It's right next door to 500 McKinley.
So fire plugs would have to be put in that area.
There's one right there at that dead end right now. So it's really close. But we have to look at as far as how far back.
Yeah.
Build, how far
we're going to the highway and
That's
everything.
something definitely we should look at.
That's got a lot to do with, you know, with what size fire hydrant is there
Sure.
and egress for fire trucks.
Yep.
I think you need to look at that.
There might be one needed fire plug,
Yeah.
but there is a fire hydrant down there.
Yep.
That's
right.
McKinley. Yeah.
It's a big one too.
Yes.
I can see a conversation happening with ODOT to see if we can get a driveway off 127 coming to the property. But that would be an ODOT conversation, correct?
You're in the same ballpark he is.
Yeah.
That's a limited access highway, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a 10 that they're not going to give it to you. There's I've been here for a long, long time, and I live down that way on 127, and there's been tons of people put in old driveways without permission, and the state comes right back in and they'll tear it right back out.
Really?
Because they don't want it there. It's a
There is an
limited
access
access
there.
highway, it's been there since 1960. So,
There is access there right now because that field is being farmed.
it's a farm, you could only put a tractor on it, and
So
that's
now,
it.
can't take a vehicle across that and then extend the driveway out to the other end of the
No.
property?
That'd be up to the,
It's ODOT, that's an ODOT approval, it's got a farm access on it, I do know that. I've talked to Tom. But it's got no access for residential at all.
Okay, so that's gonna leave us coming in through McKinley Street or
McKinley Street, yeah.
or coming down to North Lafayette. Could that be a problem with the school? Assuming that road is easement approved by the school to get to that portion of the property?
I believe it belongs, that little road there belongs to Preble County. I'm not for sure,
I'm not positive.
but you could check.
Could they stop us from getting access to our property?
No, not if you come in from McKinley.
So I mean, they gotta come all the way down the back side of the property and build a driveway. There's an easement there now, 40 or 50 feet.
From off of McKinley.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's following the telephone poles. But that means we have to build a crossing over the creek. I imagine we would have to do the same thing that the school did, something very similar, big culvert and cement it.
Yeah.
Do something
And
like
the
that.
same thing with the, your extension right there, as far as your sewage coming in, you're going across Preble County property, you're gonna have to go through the school board to get approval for all that. We can't approve that.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Preble County School Board, not us.
Well, McKinley's a straight shot without any restrictions, as far as water sewer.
There's water already at the North Lafayette
Barn
Yeah.
parcel.
yeah.
right? But there's just no sewer. Okay. Now currently that parcel of land is listed as agricultural. If we're buying this in a multi-stage process, so right now the conversation is we're buying the 3 tracts for this initial purchase, then Dad will sell off at least 2 houses up in Michigan, and then we'll buy the additional acreage, so that we will eventually own all of it. So right now it's labeled as agricultural.
So how many houses do you plan possibly to put on it?
3.
3?
So my understanding is that the state requires 10 acres to keep it agricultural. So as long as we
Yeah.
keep the parcel 10.1 acres or bigger, we should be able to keep that status, correct? Now, is there a proper way of handling this to buy these 3 tracts now and then that other parcel later? I mean, if we were to buy these 3 tracts, that they're no longer agricultural, right? The
No,
residential.
it wouldn't be, they'd be residential.
Right.
So,
what happens if we were to buy these 3 tracts and then we buy the parcel in the middle? Do those other parcels stay residential and then the center stays agricultural? Any idea how that works?
I can't answer that one. I know when Buffer built that subdivision a long time ago, and they ended up with McKinley being a dead end there.
Right.
There, a long, long time ago, they wanted other property going that way, and they were gonna extend that street on out and do other stuff, but I don't think that never materialized. So, we're at McKinley right now, and the only access that I feel you have is McKinley. Unless you go through the school board and get access that way, I have no clue.
The property would have to go through the county to get the zoning change.
Yeah.
But that's the zone agriculture. The roads don't have zoning, but that's not considered a road, I don't think. It could be with residential, but you would have to get Preble County commissioners, I guess, to approve that.
Okay. And I guess the last question I have to free up your time was, how would you guys feel about solar panels on the roof?
If you're paying for it, do what you want.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
There was a hint dropped to us by another individual saying that the solar panels might not go over very well.
residential, on your roof's fine.
Yeah.
If you try to throw up a wind turbine, you might have some people complaining.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
It's all good. Okay, does anybody feel there might be any issues with purchasing this property?
I can't think of any issues with the bid. I don't,
Just like Ben said, the end of McKinley, for sure. The other entrance there behind the school, that would be school board, as far as access to that, besides that.
So if we were to put in sewage that goes all the way up to McKinley, we're definitely gonna need a lift station.
yeah.
That's a long
That is
run.
uphill.
That is a long run.
Yeah, well, I don't know which would be more feasible, going towards the alley like the new concession stand did, or to McKinley. We'd have to look at that, see what the distances are from one to the other, to say for sure which one would be best. So one might be a shorter distance, save us money, you know, until we look at it.
Mr. Rossi, what do you think my next step should be to get answers on this?
I'd say, council's good with it, I assume. I think your only questions will be sewer, where your sewer lateral goes, and school board as far as access to the barn property there behind the school.
So at this point, I need to schedule a meeting with the school board to make this decision.
And also check with the county about whether they would keep that zoned agriculture, or whether they would be willing to.
Yeah, you call land use management up at the courthouse, they can answer those questions for you.
Land use management?
Yeah, land use management at the county courthouse. Brad Kramer.
Excellent.
I would check, one more thing, I would check with your insurance to make sure that they are okay with the adequate amount of water that you're gonna put it, near your home or whatever because of fire. I would put a home in there and it'd be, 1,000 foot from a hydrant or whatever it is. I know it's pretty close there.
It is.
But I would definitely check with your insurance company to make sure that they're okay with the space, or I don't know how far you're along with your engineering or not, but I'd definitely have an engineer check that.
Okay.
So that's something for you,
Appreciate that. Well, this is my first time standing in front of council and representing my dad to buy property, so thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Problem.
Sorry, friends, it took too long.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, good. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right, staff reports, Rusty, you got anything?
Is everybody who wanted to public participate done?
All right.
I'm not on the agenda, but can I say something?
Sure, come up and what's your name?
Carolyn White. So I heard something about the water bill, that if you're not paid up, that they're going to shut it off until it's fully paid. And about last year in the summer, my water pipe burst for about 3 days and I didn't know about it. And I got a $1,000 water bill, and I'm paying on it. I've been paying on it every month. But it's just me and my mom. She's on disability and I got kids. So it's just me. So they shut the water off. What do I want them to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying. I pay my regular bill and then I pay a little bit on what I owe. I was told because it was under my house and not the actual main valve that it was my responsibility.
Did you get an adjustment after the leak?
I was.
Yeah, you get 1 week adjustment per year, so you'll have to pay for water, but you won't be billed for the sewage.
We can't even get it fixed.
Neither one of us can get under there. So it's, like I said, it's just me. I can't afford a plumber, and I work on my own stuff. And it's just, no matter what I've tried, there's just one little spot under my house that just is a continuous spray. It's not as bad now. I mean, it still sprays, but it doesn't make my water go crazy. But like I said, I got over $1,000 and I'm down to 300, about 400 now.
What's your address?
681 Rose Boulevard.
And you've been making payments every single month?
Every month. There's a couple of months that, I did miss a couple payments because,
She just
car
had a baby.
problems. I just had a baby 3 months ago, so it's like, it's just me paying these bills but I make sure my water bill is paid every month. It's just the extra.
Have you asked for assistance from the county at all?
I didn't know I was allowed to.
We're not from here, we're
Yeah.
relatively new.
I'm from Georgia. Well, I'm from Indiana, but we lived in Georgia for like 10
If
years.
you'll give me your name and phone number, I can pass on some information to you.
Oh, that would be wonderful, thank
Yeah,
you.
we're
Like I
relatively
said, I'm down to like 400 now. I've been paying on it for the whole year. And from that, I think it was like 1,200 is what it topped out at. And I think I'm doing pretty good, but if they shut the water off, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I have 3 kids at home between 14, 5, and 3 months. So I don't know what I'll do.
If you give her your name and number, we'll give you the information.
That's all I'm gonna do. Thank you.
Thank you.
How bad do we,
I haven't looked at it, I can go and check it out.
look at it, see if we can make
What's the address again?
adjustment,
681 Rose.
681 Rose. I'll check it out tomorrow.
The water guy that came and checked the meter, he's the one that told me it was still pouring out and it was on our side. But with my cane, I can't get under there and she can't get under there.
I'll take a look at it.
And I literally, the bad part is I literally just injured myself at work today and made my back pop. I have to go see a brain and spinal specialist. But this information kind of just threw me for a loop. I don't know.
We'll get here quick. Anybody else got anything? Well, you got nothing? 159 South Main Street address?
It's past cap with the water department. You're up. It's one of the addresses that Patsy and I discussed. Do you want to let them know about it, or you want me to fill them in on that one?
You can go for it.
So, 159 South Main Street had a fire in February. I asked Rusty when the water got shut off. He said a couple days after the fire. The lady called multiple times, was when the previous fiscal officer was here, and asked her to shut off the water because she was still getting bills, but they weren't living there. She didn't know that there was no water access, so it was shut off at the pit. But that resident has been charged this entire time, the 9805 every single month for a house that she was unable to live at due to a fire. And I would like to rectify this and figure out how to adjust it to the proper, because she did everything she could multiple times trying to get this dealt with Trina, and it wasn't solved. And now it's a problem. So I feel like if we can't take care of our residents when their house catches fire and burns, what are we doing?
So I've calculated what I think the adjustment on that should be, and I've given you all copies. I have a stack of these, and every day I'm getting more. So we have a lot of issues that we're trying to work through. So I keep telling people that I'm working on them one at a time, that's all I can do. In between billing and payments and everything else, so, yeah, we've got some issues. So that one, I think that we should, for total adjustment, should be $294.88. Now, I did add late fees today, which we're gonna start doing every month. I mean, and honestly, $1,800 in late fees. If that's what we're missing every month, that's a lot of income.
Absolutely.
So we have to start doing this stuff again. We have to get on a regular schedule of getting this stuff done. But some of these adjustments that I've given you, these people have late fees, so that's an additional amount that, and I'll look that up and include that in the adjustment.
Since this address, he did shut them off at the pit, and she did call twice to the office and talk to Trina, and then we ended up without a Trina, and then we had to train and hire her. I would like council to put a credit on her account for that $294.88. Because she did everything she was supposed to, Rusty did what he was supposed to, everybody did it except for an employee that's not here. Is everybody okay with that?
What is your credit on? Is it on water or sewer, or how did you do that?
On the sewer. Well, on hers,
She asked twice to suspend the account completely.
actually on hers, 2 bills she shouldn't have got. And that's what we need to take off. So it would be water and sewer in that case. And that's gonna be the case on a few of these, because if it's a water leak, there's a difference if there's a water leak. Somebody gets a credit on their sewer. But if they're getting billed, then that's gotta come off all, both of those, so.
Did council pass that if there were?
We talked about it, I don't,
The council passed what?
$20
$20 what?
for every house.
No, because that had to be done we did it as a motion, but it had to be done as a resolution. And then that just got put on a back burner because everything blew up.
So that has not in effect right now.
So no, we do not have
Okay.
anything like that.
Well, I would say adjust the 2 that you said, if that's okay with council.
The 159 South Main Street,
Yeah, I see a truck out there.
what's the other address? Is it a similar situation to this?
The other, we've got a whole,
Well, he said 2. Do you have another one that was supposed to be shut off at the pit, but it was never shut off in the account?
well, we got a bunch of those. I've got all different scenarios here.
I think any one that was shut off at the pit that was still receiving bills that shouldn't have been should be adjusted. Can we just blanket that one topic? Because it should have not been billed if it was shut off at the pit.
We've got quite a few of those. Our delinquent report, last week was $69,000. And when I printed it today, it's down to 55. But that's because I closed out a bunch of accounts this morning that Rusty went and checked. And they were some of them were ones that were already shut off, but it had never gotten stopped here. So all of those have to be adjusted. There's 4 or 5 new ones sitting there on my desk that I didn't get copies to you guys yet.
And you're just doing water and sewer on the ones that are shut off? You're taking off the water and sewer?
Yeah.
But what about the garbage can?
Well, that's a question for you, Becky.
Was the can still there the whole time?
I'm assuming that it probably was.
Because
I don't know.
there's a can there, the village is getting billed for it.
I just got access to somebody from Rumpke on Friday of last week. Finally got a hold of somebody that I can contact. So if that's something that I didn't even know that's anything that needs to be done. So when the water's shut off, do we call Rumpke and let them know to stop the service there?
I would say yes.
If it's a completely closed account, we would.
You want my opinion? Because I don't want to give any financial information that might get me in trouble. So
Yeah, I'm asking how you would have done it, Becky.
how does the policy read?
Okay, so that's what we need to look at, is how the policy reads. Okay.
Yes.
Going back to Lizzie's motion, can we do that? Pass that motion to anybody that's, was turned off at the pit, that we can at least get that cleaned up, or do we need a motion for that?
Well, we can take a motion for it.
I'll make the
Do we
motion if you
know-
want to second it.
Do we know why they were turned off? Should we
Talk
know
about the
why
ones
instead
that, the ones
of?
that was asked to
just-
be turned off
Yeah,
for either.
There are quite a few up at Quell Creek where he said that he notified this office that those people had moved out.
And I had talked to him a few months back, the manager over there, and he had said that I talked to her over and over and over, I update her every time somebody moves. But it's not being updated in the system, but it's being shut off at the pit, and that's the problem. Those systems are not being logged, so we have to correct those. We can't punish people for our office's mistakes. So, I made a motion.
I'll second.
You want to redefine the motion? just to make sure we're,
that any closed out accounts that were shut off of the pit but not updated in the system need to be adjusted. And anyone that's like 159 that's still paid, that one needs to be credited.
I'll second that.
William, already second.
Okay.
Discussion? Roll call. William?
Yes.
Billy?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Ted?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Well, that'll take care of a few.
We're trying to knock them out.
Patsy, do you have a list for council of the names that you're doing that for, so that we have record of it?
I have those. I marked those out because I was concerned about somebody saying the name. I didn't know that everybody would want that brought up in front of everybody.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought maybe going by I have their names if you need to know who it is. That's why I just left the address so that we could refer to.
Even the address, just so we have something for the record.
Yeah.
I mean, we have these.
The printouts that I gave have all those on there.
So you can give us an additional one, just to letting us know which addresses you adjusted?
I could do that. I mean, I finally got email. I guess all of you don't have email yet, right?
Not set up through the town, but
Okay.
just need to make a copy, stick it in our box.
Okay.
Just so we have something to reference.
Okay, I'll do that.
Has Debbie been given that email so she can put it on the website?
No, don't have her do that yet.
Well, when you're ready for that, let us know so we can have IT.
Well, I want to get in this office and get set up.
Okay.
And the amounts, so that we know how much money we're actually
Okay.
still.
So basically, I'll just send you guys a list of each one that I do every day. We've got a lot to get caught up. And even this delinquent list that I've got, that's $55,000, that's over 30 days. I anticipate, well, I know Courtney, Rusty had Courtney look at the list, and she marked a couple that she knew were vacant. So we don't know the story yet behind it, like how long they've been out or if they called and said that they were leaving or whatever, but I'm getting a lot of that. And there's a lot at Quail Creek, but when I talked to Michael earlier this week, I told him, I said, look, I've got so many on this list, we're gonna have to do this in sections. And we started with the ones where people hadn't paid since 2025. Like no payments yet this year at all. So we knocked out quite a few of them doing that. Those are the ones that I did this morning, but one step at a time. There are several that are leaks. Let's talk about these easy ones if we can. There's a couple easy ones. So,
What's the address? It was in your office.
a lot of them are those where they were shut off.
Okay. It's in your mailbox.
All right, so 742 Dell. This one's a smaller amount, but I'm assuming that somebody was trying to take away from the balance. There was an adjustment of 7742 done, but it wasn't done as a credit, it was done as a debit, so they added $77 to the balance. So, and the late fee on that one, that's $367. So that one, I mean, there's just no reason as to why we would have added money to. And these are ones that people are coming in saying, this don't even make sense what my balance is. Like they kept track of what their bills are, what they paid, And now they've got a bigger balance and they've been trying for months to get this. And they were told, we'll get it taken care of. And yeah, we're still waiting on that, so. And they're getting tired of waiting. So, but, I mean, most people have been pretty nice about it. So this one is a 7742 that needs to come off plus a 377 penalty and a 367 penalty as of today.
I'll motion that you make an adjustment on the 742 Dale Boulevard. Because we incorrectly added instead of subtracted.
I'll second it.
I'm going to go to the motion. Something that we did like that, regarding that money that they were supposed to be taken off, not just credit it back to them.
Then just put a good amount of adjustment because we said we couldn't have adjustments unless the rest council approved it. Won't you just go through all of them and just
Okay.
make one big motion?
Okay, that works. So the next one would be 599 Ira Way. This guy had $99 added to his balance. Same thing.
Same.
Take the penalties off and, yeah. Here's another one. This poor lady, she come in and told me, honey, I've had a stroke, but I still know how to add.
What's the address?
638 McGuire. And she had $150 added to her balance.
Yes, please fix it. I love some people. They're the best. What's the next one you got for us?
I thought I had another one, but that's all I got printed here.
You want my stack? I got a huge stack.
Got my own. Thank you. So the other ones I have are more, those are, what, we haven't answered on that, on those yet. Are we good on those for me to adjust those? Have we decided that?
Those are all the ones that were accidentally added?
That I have here, yes.
Okay.
This unexplained increase in water usage.
We haven't gotten to that one yet. The 620 McGuire Drive, is that part of this, or is this a different issue? Because it added $4,930.20.
Well, that was an irregular bill that went out, so that's another issue. Got lots of issues.
Well, let's clean them up all together.
Okay, so that's a different issue. So those are three that I've got right now where we added money to balances.
I think we're all in agreement to fix it, right?
Okay. Okay, so that one, 620 McGuire. I mean, and this person owes a lot of money. Like, this person hasn't made a payment in over a year. So if we're gonna talk about doing shut-offs, we might want to get him a correct bill. Because we billed him for $4,930.25. So my suggestion is to take that off and add back a 98.05 minimum. So, I mean, he's still gonna owe $1,400. But, yeah, so the adjustment amount needs to be $4,831.95. Next.
And how do we know that he doesn't owe that much?
Well, I mean, there was so here's the thing about this, that particular bill that went out. So if you look over on the right-hand side when we billed, it said we did an actual read, but the read is 0. So something got changed somewhere along, like meter reading numbers got changed or something. Because there's no way we're gonna bill for $4,930 if you have a zero read. Nothing else that's gonna be a 9805 bill. So nobody, I talked to Software Solutions about this one in depth, and they can only see so much behind the scenes, and they couldn't give me an answer. Like something was manipulated after the bill went out, so.
Just to clarify, all of our meters are now auto read?
Do I have that?
Are all of our meters auto read now?
Yes, everyone.
So everything's electronically transmitted from the meter to the computer?
Yep.
And that's been how long?
Well, that doesn't mean they're all read correctly though.
Right.
I mean, there's issues
That
sometimes,
we are
yes.
using the auto read, and if there's a problem, it's within it, not necessarily a human error. That's what's entered in correctly, which.
There are a few issues as far as what it reads and what it sends. So that's pretty accurate. I mean, there's very good chance that what we read and what we send is different. So
So what else you got for us?
So we have 2 leaks. One leak at 563 West Central. This was not their leak, by the way. This was on our side. Yeah. So the easiest way for me to figure this one was to, because they had multiple times that it leaked, like they thought it was fixed, they went back, fixed it again. And one credit was given, but it was given before the leak was even fixed. So it shouldn't have been given when it was. I took that into consideration, but so what I did was figured what an average bill was, took anything that was above an average, subtracted that, and added back what an average would be for those months that they got billed too much. And so that one is a credit of 514.18. That's what I think is good for them. And the next one, they had the same kind of thing. They had a leak and didn't know it. They got an adjustment early on, but it wasn't fixed. The pipes burst. They didn't know it because it was an empty apartment. And so they got a credit before the leak was actually fixed, before the water read even went back down. So that one is 143 North Lafayette. And so this one is a leak where they still owe for the water, but sewer needs to be adjusted. So that one, the adjustment amount would be $887.25. The rest of them that I have are all ones, there are 4 of them, that people have had irregular reads, and they would like an adjustment. So I will tell you that, so let's start with, I don't know if I gave you guys this copy actually, 739 Dell Boulevard. Her read was 28,000 last month. Now, her estimated the month before was a 0. So, because the actual month prior was a 0. And so when you do an estimated, it's 80% of the prior. So, some of this could be catching up, but I don't think all of this is not based on what she normally has. Her current read, I just looked at it, is back down to about what she's been. So she had a $28,000 read. And so I told her that all I can do is present it to council and see. Rusty's checked all of these too to see if there's leaks, and there's no indication. So I don't know if you guys want to give her credit on those, that's completely up to you. The next one on that one is 153 South Street. That's the same thing. Their read was 12,737, and now it's back down to 3,454.
Yeah, and that's the one that said that they were on vacation and they had Rusty check it for insurance purposes or something.
Dave checked it like 2 weeks
Dave.
before, and then Rusty checked it again to make sure there wasn't a leak. And so the good thing about these smart meters too, when he goes to check for leaks, there's an icon on it. So, I mean, they don't have to do, it doesn't have like the thing that spins like it used to be. It actually has an icon that tells them if there's a leak. So these people had unexplained, they said there was no reason for it. part of that time, 1 week of it, I think they were out of town, and they had a $12,000. And again, some of that could be catching up from the prior month, you know, because they had a lower read then.
Are you just adjusting by minimum, what their minimum would be, is that how you're doing?
An average, what their average would be, that's what I figured, yeah, and we would take it off of, I mean, I guess that would be up to you guys, I mean, what are we gonna take it off of, just the water and sewer, or just the sewer? When it comes to this.
Did they make a payment when their bill was zero?
Yeah, they got billed for a minimum, yeah.
Yeah, they're all paid up. That, the address down by our house is all, they've all paid up. They just,
Yeah.
there's no explanation for using almost 13,000 gallons of water in a month when they just have the house go down twice.
606 Vicky Drive is another one. She's a single woman, lives there. And hers went up to $12,140. I mean, she paid her bill, but it's back down to $4,726. So, and then 81 West Hendricks, they've had irregular reads too. So, I don't know what you guys want to do about those.
The water leak, you don't charge for the sewage.
For the water.
Water charge for the
And then
water.
adjust for the sewer.
Sewage.
But then we have to keep in mind too, that if we do this and they have an irregular read again, you know, I'll let these people know, like if we do an adjustment that, just because you get an irregular read, and Rusty says that there's usually a reason for that, if it reads that high and it doesn't, if it's not a leak, so that's why it's up to you guys if you want to do.
I would just treat those like a leak, like as if there was a leak, and then if it ends up that there's something going on with the meter,
Address that.
address it in the future, but I think that's the best solution, and if they're paid up to date, just credit their account. How do you guys feel about that? Because there's no way for us to prove it wasn't a leak, and there was a leak, and there's no way for them to prove that there wasn't a leak. So we're in this catch-22, there's no way to prove otherwise. So if we just treat it like a leak, they get their one-time adjustment, and hopefully the problem is solved and it won't happen again.
What do you think, Council?
I think a one-time adjustment would be fine, but we don't want to make a habit, like every time someone gets a weird reading on their meter, hey, here's free money. But I think we would need to check the meter. If there is an irregular read, we'd have to send someone out to check the meter.
Yeah, they've checked this meter. I know the one, some of these addresses, Rusty's really good about checking
He's
all these
checked all
meters.
of them, yeah.
So, I mean, the policy is that they get one adjustment a year. I think that we just stick with the policy.
So Becky, you said that is the policy that you would do.
One adjustment per year.
I know it's
Unless
one
they
way
have
per-
one, and they need to come counsel
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah. Okay. So we're in agreement to do all of these?
Yep, adjust and credit away, you're good.
Okay, I can do it. The only other issue was, we talked about this before. Because I've been told that we need to do shut-offs, and I agree, we need to do shut-offs, because there's a lot of people not paying their bill. I'm not sure how you guys want to do it, because there's a lot on this list.
I think anybody who's not made a payment, that is delinquent without even any effort, should be shut off come the 25th of August. I mean, they're not even trying.
Reaching on one, what do you think?
Well, I think we need to send out a letter to anybody that's affected and give them a chance to make it right.
Or do a one call.
Well, we've taken,
Well, and passing that on, it's amazing when you look at how many phone numbers on our water sheet that don't have phone numbers attached to them, so
we
one
had,
call still gonna reach them.
we had made a motion, I think it was before you joined council, that we changed the shut-off policy, so that when we're gonna do shut-offs, the beginning of the month, we have Debbie make a post advertising when shut-offs is, so that they have a month notice. And then I think that this being the situation it is, we need to kind of adapt that have her post it now and then maybe share it to Facebook once a week from the village page so that people are aware. And I've talked to Patsy about when people come in there or get a hold of her to make sure that she's getting updated phone numbers. So that should at least help with that. And maybe Debbie can make a separate post that says, hey, please update your phone number for the water or utility. We're missing phone number or something. She's faster than I am. But I mean, if we, instead of doing it on the 1st, if we start doing it like tomorrow or Monday,
I'd start doing it sooner versus later.
that's going to give people a lot more. That's giving them well over a month to get their stuff in order.
Okay, so what avenues do we want to use to make sure everyone gets the message, or at least try to make sure they get the
I
message?
mean, we can hang it up at the library, we can hang it up where all we can put posting, put it on the door, VP, like they're real good about hanging stuff up. We just post flyers and make posts on Facebook, the website, and everywhere we can.
What about direct notification?
The one call who has phone numbers. If they don't, if you are shocked that you have to pay your water bill,
No, I get
you
that.
have problems.
I just want to make sure that we aren't accused of not giving anybody notice. I want to make sure that
I'd say if we don't have a number on record for them, I'm not opposed to having someone, Rusty probably, run around and put a note on their door saying, hey, you're delinquent X amount of.
They have their bills, so they will get the bill they just got paid, and they will get the bill for August. So I feel like, yeah, that's too much for the boys to.
It also takes a lot of time to write all of those out.
Yeah.
when does the bills go out? Once they're read?
Well, the meters were read, so I've got, my hope is by next week, then the next week I'll have the billing.
What day of the month did they get read?
It's usually the 13th through the 15th, anywhere in that time frame. They were read on the 13th.
Could we print out a thing and put it in an envelope with the bill?
We don't, the bills go to the
Could be
bills.
on-
Oh, we don't actually, okay. We could have the cards, I didn't know we
You
switched.
can put it on the bill though.
Yes, we can add a comment to the
Okay.
bill.
And then
And can you ask the billing company if they can put a final notice on these, to be these bills that are gonna be on the shut-off list if they're not paid? Maybe they can put in big bold red letters. I know like AES does it, Centerpoint does it, other agencies can do it. They just put final notice. And the policy for shut-offs is on the bill already.
Okay.
I would be happy if it's put in red ink or something at the bottom that, shut-offs will begin on August 25th to anybody that has arrearages.
Well, it's already on the bill. If you look at the bill, there's in red letters, it says what the shut-off policy is. When the bills are due, what the shut-off is, that's already on every single bill that goes out. But if this is your final notice, if we can add it to those, then at least that is another blanket, because you can do everything, as many notifications as you want, there's gonna be somebody that didn't get it. But I think this is covering as many bases as you can. Do you still need training from Software Solution in person?
Well, nobody's trained me in person, it's all been, we can do, I can share the screen with them.
Is that sufficient enough
Oh, yeah.
for your knowledge?
Yeah, they've been great. Yeah, they've been great. In fact, because I called from my cell phone because I don't have email, and I couldn't use that phone for a while because I couldn't get into the voicemails. I can now, but they got used to my cell number, and they're like, Patsy, good to hear from you. We haven't heard from you in a couple days. They even called to check on me a couple times. A little worried about me.
That's good.
So one more issue with that. So I don't know why. My understanding is that we do not set up payment plans for people that have active accounts. However, we have lots of payment plans set up on active accounts. So, 3, 4,
What?
5,
We have unauthorized payment plans.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And some of these people have, to my knowledge, there's never any kind of agreement signed by these people. It was just a verbal agreement, I guess, because they're on a payment plan to pay their minimum plus. So this one person right here Last payment made was $620.25. They owe $1,500 and they're on a payment plan. So first of all, what I would like to do, if you guys are okay with it, is take those payment plans off. Because they haven't adhered to anything, so clearly that payment plan is null and void. I mean,
Yes, we're not a collection agency.
thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what you want me to do about these other people, because there are a couple people that have actually made payments. I don't know if it's according to the payment plan. I didn't look that deep into it. This person, they paid on 6/1. And their balance is at least reasonable. But, I mean, so there's a few of them. $2,118. Their last payment, I don't even know if this person, you might want to check on this person. They haven't paid since September of '24.
Well, if they haven't paid, then they'll get shut off from August.
Did you set up the credit, did you find out about the credit card machine?
Should be sure.
I have not. Yeah.
You know, if we had access to that again.
Well, I know, and so I need to get some information on that machine. I'm thinking when I move to that office, because I'll be using the computer. This laptop that I'm using, keep in mind, it's like when I save documents, the dates are saved under 2013. So it's got a lot of problems.
We can set up a payment page online if people want to pay like we did before we went to the new building. And we just had a form online they could fill out. We could do the same thing on the website where they could use their credit card if you wanted to.
The one that hasn't paid since '24, I would say just set his water off.
Yeah, if they haven't paid it over a year, they need to be shut off. They're obviously not paying. I mean, that'll at least knock off a
Get a
handful.
list, Rusty, of the ones that haven't paid in at least a year. 6 months, I would say, they haven't made a payment. Shut them off.
You want them to go ahead and shut them off now, or?
Yeah.
And those are also the ones that you need to get their garbage can taken away because we're giving them free service. The village is paying for
Oh, I
that.
know, we're paying every month. for
Yeah,
it.
so on the 25th, anybody over 6 months, and then on the 25th of next month, then we'll do anybody else. We can split it up.
I mean, that's up to you guys.
Does that make it a little bit more doable for you? Because it's a lot of people.
The first shut-off, because we've done 3 shut-offs in 3 years. So the first one, I know Patsy's been working on it hard, but the first one's gonna be a doozy, I'm sure. So if you want to do it that way, we'll shut off the ones with payment plans first, because there's not nearly as many. That's up to you, Patsy. I mean,
I feel like the people that are the oldest on here, because honestly, I'd be a little irritated if I was only 60 days behind and I knew my neighbor was a year behind. And I feel like the older ones need to get shut off.
wouldn't do that.
I mean, but it's up to you guys. You guys gotta make that decision.
I think
I'm just the one they're gonna yell at when it gets done.
Yeah, I think the ones that are, do you want to do, what do you think, Mayor? Should we start off with anybody a year or more, or should we go 6 months for the
It's
first
6
one?
months. If they haven't paid anything on their payment plan, shut them off.
25th of this month?
Yeah.
And so those payment plans, are you guys good with me doing away with all of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Unless they want to come to a council meeting themselves and fight the case.
I would say that the one resident, she's almost paid up.
And she owes
The one
almost
just voted.
$300. So,
So I feel like she came, so.
We're talking about the people that's behind it.
Well,
she's not more than 6 months behind.
Right, she's on a payment plan, so I feel like if she can get it paid up and paid up to date in the next 2 months.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna anticipate that though, that we're gonna agree to some kind of payment plan. So I think that needs to, they need to know they're gonna have to find a way to get this caught up.
If they want to be on a payment plan, they have to come to a council meeting and talk to us. And if we decide to give them a payment plan, then the first time they miss a payment, the water shut off. I mean, that's up to us.
It's just policy.
Yeah.
We follow our policy.
Yeah.
And the other question I have for you, Patsy, is if we do establish some kind of payment plan, what kind of bookkeeping records? Because I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be twice as much work on you.
Because I know the program's not set up for payments, it's designed for payment in full, the way our programs are.
I mean, it's something that I'm gonna have to comb through every month and look for.
It's a lot of extra work.
It is.
We do have residents that have full water bills, and then they'll come up and pay like, because Trina was telling me about it, they'll come and pay like $40. That's not even a whole month at a time. We gotta start cutting stuff out. Everybody has to pay full amounts.
I've been telling people as they come up, and because people will ask me, can I just give you, one person said, can I give you $60? And I said, well, your balance is this. I'm gonna take your money. You can give me whatever you want. I can't tell you that's gonna be enough to keep you
Still
from getting
shut
shut
off.
off.
Yeah, you're
Next
still gonna get
month
shut
when they
off.
start doing it. So I've been telling people that, you know, as they come in.
I know it sounds heartless, but the water department is a business. We have thousands, tens of thousands of dollars worth of bills that go out. The money has to come in or we cannot pay for those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, we're not getting trash, and we're paying a huge bill every month for trash.
And we lose money
Yeah,
every time they make a small payment. We lose money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last time I looked at it, our monthly trash bill is like $23,000.
Okay. That's enough for me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Patsy.
Hang in there.
Just another note from me.
You're doing fantastic.
I need to just let me know for sure what dates you want me to put on the website for when things are starting and stuff like that. Rusty can let me know or whatever, like if it's so many months old, then it's gonna start here and we're gonna work our way down, right? So just let me know what to put on there and I'll put it on. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
Well, we haven't had any meetings, have we?
we'll have a motion to go into executive session.
I make a motion to go into executive session to consider the appointment and employment of a public employee official, section 121.22 of the revised code.
I'll second it.
And include Ms. Barnes into that executive session.
Yes. Discussion, roll call. William?
Yes.
Viv?
Yes.
Becky? Rob?
Yes.
Ted?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
All right.
Would you like to join us? Sure. I appreciate your patience. We're back.
Well, that's.
I figured it would be a long one. Come join us. It's a small room, but we'll let you have it.
As long as we don't about 10 on
I make a motion that we come
Roll call, William,
Yay.
Susie,
Yay.
Peggy, Rob,
Yes.
Ted, Dan.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we go ahead and make that motion now?
Yeah, you got it.
I make a motion that we hire Terry Barnes at $22 an hour on contingency of passing a background check and criminal financial background checks and drug testing.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call, William,
Yay.
Lizzie,
Yes.
Peggy, Rob,
Yes.
Ted,
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
I'll have Matt do that real quick tomorrow, and let her know, so she gets that information.
Awesome.
She said right there.
She's still here? Oh, you're still.
Love it.
I figured we scared you off and you already ran away because you weren't sitting over here anymore.
No, those seats are hard over there, so if I come over here.
You still want to work here, right? Because we already passed the motion.
I heard that.
All right. Got this insurance, I need to let, this is, over here, right?
It's the insurance policy.
Right, thought we're, here's this. Is that for over here? This is the one we got covered with now?
Yes.
All right, everybody look at that. Expiring is $53,981, and the renewal is $58,031. That's on up 7.1%. I need a motion to accept this and keep it going. This is who we got now, right?
I can't make the motion, you want to, somebody else will have to, Okay.
Why can't you make the motion?
Okay.
That makes sense. Well, I make the motion that we renew and continue our insurance with, what's it called?
Rod Road Insurance.
Yes.
Right, go over.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Roll call. William,
Yay.
Billy,
Yes.
Becky, Rob,
Yes.
Ted,
Yes.
Dan.
Abstain.
All right. And Rusty.
Please look.
Rusty. Make this. Should you need serial numbers or something on that?
Oh, VIN numbers? Okay, I'll grab it. Yep.
Before the 19th.
All
Before
right.
the 19th.
So this is the quote for the Brighton. It's for, huh?
If this is stuff that's not on the agenda, just knock it out.
Well, the police levy, I got the original paper, but we need a resolution that we don't have.
So I think that what you're looking at is under, I think that's under,
Fire security, body cameras.
village surveillance footage, it's on the second page. Right? Is this the surveillance camera, or is this the body cams? So that would be
Yeah,
under,
this is all for the police department.
so the body cams is new business, so you can wait and finish old business.
Okay, we got the first levy, we can't do yet. The TIF purchases for the vest.
Yeah, so we had made motions to purchase vests for the police departments using TIF funds. We also passed a motion for the fire department to reimburse them with TIF funds on equipment and safety gear. The issue was with the finances kind of wonky and things not accurate and needing to be fixed. All of the TIF fund is stuck in general fund, and so the system doesn't read it. So I would like to make a motion that we temporarily use the general fund to pay these and then fix the system once we fix the system. Because if we do not get these vests paid for and get that check copied and sent to the grant, we lose that grant and we'll be stuck with the whole almost $13,000 bill. So, like the
Can we
only,
use money in general fund for that?
if we replace it later,
No, can we use it?
well, all the money for the TIF fund is sitting in the general fund. It was never put in the TIF fund. The problem was when the previous fiscal officer did a TIF loan for $50,000. We couldn't track that down, but it screwed up the TIF fund. So the system will not let her spend the money out of it, which is why she couldn't do it. Because we owe almost $13,000 we promised to PD and over $10,000 we promised to fire.
That's what we got for the TIF fund. It says we got $62,000 in the TIF fund.
Well, if the next person can force it through, we need to get that paid then.
Okay.
Because we're gonna end up losing that almost $9,000 grant.
And court claims lawsuit up there.
So in the staff reports from the previous fiscal officer, she had mentioned that there were some court claims.
It took care of that. I talked to Samantha Bagley at Frost Brown Todd 2 weeks ago. She typed up an affidavit, which she sent to me. I signed, notarized, sent it back. She filed that with a motion to dismiss with the courts.
Cool.
Awesome, sounds good.
Village surveillance cameras at village properties.
Yeah. We got a quote from Tech Force, and its installation, configuration of 6 outdoor cameras, 4 mesh APs, 3 enclosures, and 4 switches, materials and labor. And this will go around several in the maintenance barn, out on the playground, and up by the recycling center. So the price is $4,79.53. I know we talked about this a long time ago. With all the destruction that's happening up in the playground and people putting in their trash instead of the recycling bins, it's a mess. I think we need this pretty bad.
Are you gonna do, this is all 3 of these pages is one motion, or are you doing it, that one separate?
We can if you want to. You know, I'll go ahead and explain the rest of it if you want me to. The other one is village network infrastructure upgrade. And this is everything that we need right now to pay for the IT services for Tech Force that's going to install all of our, what is the name of those things we're putting in? Oh my goodness.
Like servers.
So, yeah.
It's a server and a networking system.
Yeah, networking system and server. So, and it's for $3,566.60. And that's a necessity. We gotta have that done. And then the next one is village security cameras. Now, this is, to me, this is on my back burner, but It's up to you guys what you want to do, but it's an upgrade on all of our interior and exterior cameras, adding some, and I guess redoing some of the old ones. That bill will be $7,302. But in my opinion, we can hold off on this and possibly do it later.
And to make a motion for the first two, and then we'll leave that one off until the future.
I'll make a motion for the infrastructure upgrade and for the maintenance barn and playground recycling center surveillance camera.
I'll second that motion.
Discussion. Roll call, William?
Yay.
Debbie?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Ted?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Okay. Under new business, we'll have police body cameras. Never already discussed one.
No, these are different cameras.
Okay.
This would be so we were lucky enough, I was asking, our PD was actually sharing a couple cameras, body cameras, and I've been getting on Matt, kind of harassing him about upgrading, getting us some more cameras, seeing how much it would cost. And then another police department donated an entire mount, big old row of body cams. So all of our officers can have their own body cam and we'll have a couple backups. But in order to do that, they're gonna need brackets and the software to run it.
So this is what this is here?
Yeah.
That's $4,000,
So
$47.99.
that is the cloud storage. Let's see, item amounts.
Amounts of $339. Vehicle cloud storage and licensing, $27.36. Employment services, $1,400.
Yep, and these will keep, they'll keep the storage. They'll even do, like, if we have, somebody hold your license up and the officer, it'll blur it out if we get a records request for any surveillance footage. It keeps it longer than we could, and it helps, like, it'll really be a benefit to the police department if we can do this.
I don't know. What does he have in his budget?
I don't have the paper in front of me, she does. Do you have appropriations or anything for me? Do you have any paperwork that says how much is in that account? I know Matt works really, really hard to keep everything under budget. So, if he's asking for it, it's probably within budget. Because we saved thousands on those cameras.
So how much is this a month?
So I believe this is a year. I think the valid for a period of 1 year from time of purchase and shall be in advance for accessories. I believe this is a year. The cloud storage would be a year. The brackets obviously would be a one-time payment.
So in 1 year, then, it would be the amounts, but they'd still need the cloud storage and licensing
Yes,
and the deployment services.
probably.
I don't think the deployment service, I think that's just to get us hooked up with the initial cloud service. And then I think that's going to fall off and it'll just be the monthly plan, because the first thing just says remote setup for the deployment services. So I think that's just the initial fee to have them help us set it up.
Yeah, you're correct. So it would be $2,736 approximately a year. That's 72 units, 12 months, and then that's something you can build in this budget.
It's $38 a month. That's what I mean. 12 months. 72 units, $38 a piece.
Yeah.
It'd be $2,736 a year.
Yes.
All right, what's everybody think?
Well, I'll make a motion to allow Spurlock to use the police budget to spend $4,799.45 on Bright Get GTAC video deployment. However you say that.
Okay, got a motion, any second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call, William?
Yay.
Susie?
Yay.
Rebecca? Ron? Ted?
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah.
The cybersecurity was Damon.
What?
Cybersecurity quote?
Yeah, you had to put it on the agenda.
That was already on there.
Okay.
We already talked about that.
Oh, the cameras and infrastructure.
Yeah, infrastructure.
I wanted to discuss before we're done the code of conduct, the elected officials code of conduct. We had appealed it, but I think that we need to start working on it. And there was some items that I sent to all of council that I would like to kind of look into it. I think it's important for council to have a handbook with the code of conduct inside it, built in, so that when new elected people come in, they have an access point to be able to see how things run, what they need to do, what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do, not just code of conduct. Because that is important, but we have people that are usually not politicians joining council with no clear goal. So I would like us to kind of bounce some ideas and start kind of collecting some ideas. And then once we've collaborated as a team, send that over for the attorney to draft up a proper handbook for elected officials.
They provided us one already, and we voted it out.
Well, that one was not built as a team. I was kind of hoping that we could all put our input in and build it as a team. Because there was things that, I wanted to see in it that was, things like what training you need, what,
Not in code of conduct.
That couldn't be in the code of conduct. It should be somewhere else.
that's why I said if we have an elected officials handbook with a code of conduct included into it, it would not just be a code of conduct. It would be a whole system, a one-place goal, or a one-place location for any council member who signs on can look at, understand that this is what you're allowed to do, this is what you're not allowed to do. This is the code of conduct. This is your responsibilities and rights. This is the mayor's responsibilities and rights. This is what
Those
council members are allowed.
responsibilities are already written in the state book.
I understand that, but right now, council over the years have had to waste money.
We go by the state's.
I understand we go by the state rules, but if you had one local manual for council members,
You can't override the state.
I'm not overriding it. I'm having one location because we've pissed away money calling the attorney to look up ORCs. What are we allowed to do? We've pissed away tens of thousands of dollars trying to figure out what is the president of council allowed to do? What's the mayor's allowed to do? What is this person can do? What can they do with record requests? Is it the same as that? We have pissed away money for 2.5 years on just trying to answer questions that if we had one handbook that you could hand out to every new council member that they could look at and say, okay, this is my handbook, this says what I am allowed to do, what I'm not allowed to do, my rights, my responsibilities, what it talks about what trainings I need to do. It can talk about what the committees, the different meetings that we run. And it can also tell us how to behave. One singular location that you can hand to every new council member or elected official so that we don't have to keep looking at questions. You know, it's like we took and had questions from many residents about can an elected official who voted to terminate somebody be hired for that position? I had to look it up because nobody knew the answer. Nobody had a clue. How, you know, there's so many things that we waste money on that we could literally just put in one place.
You understand how much money that would cost us? I know that the attorney was involved with our employee handbook, and I do know that they've spent probably north of 20 grand, and that handbook is still not done yet.
Then let's finish it.
I don't have any clue where it was or where it's at.
I got a copy of it in the notes that go with it.
Well, I suggest you get working on it then. But as far as the employee or the,
We use a code of conduct to weaponize each other, and it needs to stop.
do what?
Previous council used it to weaponize against me and make rules
I
against me.
understand that, but
And now
I
we
took
have-
all that out there.
And it was wrote by
Every
one
bit
council
of it.
member. One council member wrote it. Has the attorney reviewed it?
I don't think the attorney needs to review it because he's gonna charge us $4,500 to do it again.
So once again, you want something voted in that has not
It's
been.
written off of the old one, which was approved by the solicitor. All I did was make the changes. Most of the changes, Lizzie, was I took stuff out because they were targeting you. Now, you could say what you want, but I would say right now we have a 99% chance that this this code of conduct is just fine without spending another $4,500. Do you understand how much they spent on the last one? Code of conduct, north of 30 grand.
I didn't say to have the attorney write up a new one. I said to have it read by the attorney and for him to give us our opinion. That's all I want. Confidence that what we're voting in is actually legal. We literally just did a resolution on junk cars and then had to repeal it to make changes. I don't want to keep wasting our time on this stuff. Let's just make sure that he gives a thumbs up on it.
So you want to spend more money?
I would rather waste money making sure that this is approved by an attorney than having to sit here and waste time in the future because you did something a little inaccurate or you mistyped something or you put the wrong code in and then it's biting us in the ass. Yes, I want the attorney to approve everything because there's way too many questions that residents are having and too many concerns that we're doing stuff shady. So let's have the stamp from the attorney.
I would suggest if you need to have an attorney that bad, you need to get a different attorney anyway. Because the attorney that we got can't even win a civil unemployment case.
Well, this is the attorney that we have. And at this point, we have too many residents with too many concerns.
Because of the unemployment process.
Well, I'm of the opinion that 80% of everything that's in here had already been approved by the attorney. Now, there was stuff in there. There was stuff in there that was approved by the attorney. It was actually against the First Amendment of the Constitution. Now, do you trust him to give us an opinion? I don't.
I trust an attorney with a law degree more than I trust anybody on the council. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of residents feel. They don't trust us, so why not sit there and have a stamp that a legal, certified attorney looked it over? If you don't trust the one that looked it over the first time, have one of the other ones. It's a whole damn place with a bunch of attorneys. Pick one. But nobody trusts us. You want people to trust us? Do stuff to prove we're trustworthy.
We'll look over it, I'll talk to Jack and we can move on to the next meeting.
Oh, I disagree.
And that's your right.
You can make a motion.
I'll make a motion. I don't have an ordinance number, Dan. I need an ordinance number. You got a number?
It's a resolution.
That was a resolution, this is an ordinance, so just do 3 times the amount. But this is a resolution, that's an ordinance, so you do have to do that. Because they're 2 different things. Resolution and ordinance, 2 different things.
The same number. Okay. Resolution 2026, 3000.
Resolution.
Ordinance, I'm sorry.
What was it again, 2026, 3,000?
Yes.
Okay. I have to, I make a motion to suspend the three reading rule and declare it an emergency. I move that council suspend the 3 reading rule and declare the code of conduct ordinance an emergency measure as permitted by law because the immediate adoption of the code of conduct is necessary to preserve the public peace, health, safety, welfare by establishing uniform standards of ethical conduct, accountability, professionalism, and public trust for all of our officials without unnecessary delay. Do I have a second?
Got a motion.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
I don't think this is dire enough that we need to suspend the 3 readings. But like, I don't disagree with some of the stuff that's in here, but I think we need to have the 3 readings so the public also knows what standards we're holding the council members to. I don't want to just suspend the reading and then slap us all with something and then they don't know what standards we're holding ourselves to. I think it would go for better public trust if they know what standards we're trying to hold ourselves to. So I think we should have all 3 readings, not suspend it.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Roll call. William?
Nay.
Lizzie?
Nay.
Becky?
Yeah.
Rob?
Yay.
Ted?
Yeah.
2.
So now we have code of conduct, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now I need to make a motion on that ordinance. A motion to adopt the code of conduct, and the emergency motion passes. I move to adopt ordinance number 2026-3000, the Village of Camden Code of Conduct as presented and declared an emergency measure. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call.
I just want to say real quick, I have a feeling I know exactly why they're trying to rush this code of conduct.
William?
Nay.
Lizzie?
Nah.
Becky?
Yes.
Rob?
Yay.
Ted?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes. I need to read it. Won't take a while. Whereas the officials of Camden, Village of Camden, serve in positions of public trust and must conduct themselves ethically and professionally, and whereas the village council desires to establish clear standards of conduct and procedures for addressing misconduct. Now therefore be it ordained that the council of the Village of Camden, State of Ohio, under applicable ORC 73105 and 731.09, the purpose of this ordinance is to establish enforceable standards governing the conduct of elected or appointed officials of the village in order to promote ethical governance and transparency, protect the integrity of village decision-making, maintain public confidence in municipal leadership, provide fair procedures for reviewing alleged misconduct. Applicability, Article.
Dan, you read the most important parts of it. We won't read the whole ordinance, but we will make it available online if there's anybody'd like a copy.
I can read the whole thing if you want to. It's 25 pages.
Yeah, I'm gonna read 25 pages. And over to make these, yeah. You can make copies for people. Just
And I can also
put
send it,
online.
we can put it online.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What's this president of the council? Is that the one for executive session?
Regarding President of Council, if it's about me, I waive my right to an executive session and I want it all talked about right quick in here.
That's right. That's fine.
Okay.
This is what I wrote today. It says, Dear Mayor and members of council, I respectfully request that the village council place consideration of the removal of the president of council from that office for cause. This request is not made lightly. The position of president of council carries a responsibility to conduct meetings fairly, remain impartial, while presiding, uphold Ohio law, protect the integrity of council and proceedings, and maintain the confidence of both council and public. The following actions and supporting evidence are offered for council's consideration in determining whether sufficient cause exists for removal. Conduct detrimental to the orderly operation of council. Disseminating untrue statements on social media that Camden had $360,000 in the bank, when in fact no one, not even our temporary fiscal officer, could tell council how much was in the bank. And in fact, the past fiscal officer had not given any bank reconciliation reports to council for a very long time. So the old council and the new council had no idea of our banking situation. The UAN said we had $16,000 in the red. The president of the council was asked to remove that statement and she refused to. Publishing the temporary fiscal officer report when they were not voted on during a council meeting and approved, some of which was information about the audit, and an untrue statement that was made that Miss Wilson authorized herself a bigger bond than the temporary officer did. The statement made was Becky received a $20,000 bond and the temporary fiscal officer got a $5,000 bond. This statement was not true, and both received a $5,000 bond annually. This is a fact. President of council vilified members of council on social media for not making a meeting and published it on Facebook to stir the public, and then continue to do so within any comment made that the public made. This is not how a president of council should act. Based upon the foregoing, I respectfully request that council accept this request in the official record, review the attached evidence, allow discussion in open session unless executive session is authorized by law. But right now, it is open session. It is not really to be discussed in an executive session. Following discussion, determine whether sufficient cause exists to remove the president of council from that office and elect a successor in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code and the village governing procedures if removal is approved. This request is submitted to reserve the integrity of the village of government and to ensure that council leadership remains accountable to the law, the village policies, and the citizens we serve. Respectfully, Dan Stapleton, council member.
And I would like to plead my case for who actually cares. So when I received this email, I forwarded it to Jennifer Woods, who was our temporary fiscal officer, and I said, could you please verify from what you remember anything in this email forwarded to you regarding the bank account amounts and or bonds that were paid that you paid while you were here? And she emailed me back. Lizzie, Mayor Dan Michael received bank statements from First Financial Bank from my request. I asked for December 2025 through May 2026. There was approximately $360,000 in the First Financial Bank account. You actually were in the office when the bank statements were on the desk. I'm sure if you recall that, we discussed it then. As far as the bond, I lost my spot. I've been questioned about it, and I don't have the answer. Becky Wilson indicated hers was just more because of cost of her reports. Her cost for her bond was much more than mine. I don't have an answer to that, as it stated, ask council and the mayor. As far as staff reports are concerned, they are just the means to let council know of what is going on in the fiscal office. I have never been made aware that they are supposed to be approved by anyone. My report is my report. Going back to the bank account, the night Becky Wilson told you she transferred $750,000, you rather flipped out and even said we had $360,000 from what Jennifer had said on the bank statement. Best Jennifer. Now, a few things there. One, I communicated multiple times with the temporary fiscal officer because her staff reports. Two, I was present for conversations when me, Becky, and Jennifer were in the room discussing how much money is in the bank account. And Jennifer had told me on numerous occasions that she felt that we needed to reconcile the bank account, start paying bills, and have a discussion about how much needed to be transferred. $750,000 was a lot of money to transfer all at once, and she was uncomfortable with that. Not to even mention the fact that she was told by Becky, you're paid $35 an hour to be here, you're not coming and doing staff
That is a lie. That is
basically
a lie.
what you said.
That is a lie.
You said right there in that room.
You're a liar. I didn't say that.
$35 an hour.
That's a lie.
We're not wasting money for
That's a
staff
lie.
reports. Which is crap because she has to come to at least once a month. Spurlock is supposed to come to once a month, and he's supposed to come to once a month.
That is a
She was
lie.
told she was not allowed to.
That is a lie. I did not tell her she was not allowed. She said she did not want to stay for council meetings because they run late and she lives all the way in Lebanon.
The one
So
council
I told her
literally here for.
she was making $35 an hour if she didn't want to present a report and it could be read. So you're a liar.
I'm not a liar.
You are a
She
liar.
sat there when she was in the office.
You are a liar.
And she was already here and going to be here for the report. You said, you're already here, go do that. We're not wasting $35 for you to do this. That's just the situation. Anyone on here had the ability to sit here and get a hold of Trina. I cannot help that, or not Trina, Jennifer. I can't help that I was able to talk to her and I put forth effort to wait around her schedule and try to be in here and check on things if I saw her vehicle outside. I can't help that it worked out for me and not other people. That's your guys' doing.
No, maybe she should have let us know when she was gonna be here so we could talk to to her in person. I was never informed one time by you or anybody else when she was here.
It's not my job to inform you. I'm not the mayor.
I'm just telling you, I wanted to know.
I didn't know.
Not the mayor.
And it's your responsibility. She's your
I did my
employee.
responsibility. I came to the building she's supposed to be in. No one informed me what hours she was working. You're on
Well, maybe you should have reached out to
Excuse
her.
me, I'm talking. You want respect, you give it, please.
I have no respect for you.
Well,
And
that's your problem.
I damn well know you have none for me.
And I think
So
that's
I
part
won't
of
be your
the problem.
puppet.
All right.
You have no respect for anybody that's on council or has been.
No, I don't. Because you want to sit here and say, I'm posting things on Facebook that are not by law supposed to be approved. It's a damn staff report. And you want to sit there and make comments about how I'm posting on Facebook why people are not here. Because I'm tired of getting asked 100 times. And I have copies of screenshots from your post that you put on the gossip page, bitching and moaning and groaning about previous council, not letting anybody know why we didn't have meetings. So the fact is, it's rules for thee, but not for me.
Okay, let's go back to the rules.
Are you done?
Okay, let's be civil now. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
You posted some reports from Jennifer that we, on record, admitted there was inaccuracies in, and you posted it without a retraction. That's my problem with you as the president of council. Anything you post representing this village should be 100% factual. And if it's checked and noted in our records that it's not factual, you should have posted a disclaimer at the top of that for posting inaccurate information.
First off, I texted her. I asked her if there was anything inaccurate. She said, nobody is changing my words. Everything in there is what's accurate. Just because you
That's
don't
not
like
true.
the truth
That's not true.
doesn't mean you can argue against it.
No, that's not what happened. We read the report, and it was objected to on record there, and you still went home and posted it. And there was also another one in her record stating that I wanted her to change the record. I never once said for anybody to change any record that any of these people have wrote. So that's an inaccuracy too.
You made a
And you
comment
posted
on
that anyway.
Facebook to retract it. It was a comment you made on Facebook when I posted this. She did not like that you had
How did my
posted on
comment
that
on,
Facebook.
okay, even if I did, how did my comment on Facebook get posted in a report from the village's temporary fiscal officer? That's not appropriate.
Because she's on Facebook and she saw a comment you made about her
It
professional
had
staff
no
report.
business in the public record.
Then take it up with her. I didn't write the report.
You posted it, and it wasn't accurate. That's my
Because we need to
problem
be
with you.
transparent with our residents.
That's not
And if she's
transparency,
not
it's
allowed to
not
come to a
accurate,
meeting,
Lizzie.
she will get hurt.
Lizzie, if you're posting things that aren't accurate, that's not transparency. That's misinformation. That's stirring the pot, that's causing more stress in this village, which we don't need. We need to all be on one page. We all, 7 of us, counting the mayor, are here to resolve these issues and make Camden a better place for everybody.
Just because you don't like what something is doesn't make it inaccurate.
You want to go back and take the says right there. Becky said right there it was on inaccurate. We recorded it. It's in the record. I'll go with Becky. And what was put on record, not what some temporary girl that's here for a few weeks as a Band-Aid has to say. I'll take my council member.
They're her staff reports, they're public record.
And
People
they're
wanted to hear them, they got
And
put on
they're
Facebook. You
inaccurate. And
can't
I'm glad
punish
you-
people because you don't like what they do.
No, that's not.
We have members that
I
literally
have a question for
complained
you.
because Kelly used to try to do that crap to me, and then you do the
Kelly's
exact
not
same
here.
thing.
Kelly's not here. We came out of us.
All right, discussion's over on this. I mean, everybody's got their opinion of what's going on.
I have a motion on the floor.
I'll second it.
I don't think anybody knows what your motion is.
Okay. I'll
You read
read
an
it.
email. Oh, I forgot, his motion is to punish me because he didn't like what I did on Facebook.
The motion was to remove you from president of council.
Yes, well,
2 seconds. Discussion.
Discussion. If you're not puppets with the group, you get punished.
Lizzie, I have a question to ask you. I want you to be really, really honest. Do you believe that you have an accurate amount of $360,000 in the bank? Can you attest to that and swear to it? That's what we had? Because I will say this. Our past fiscal officer had not reconciled the bank statements in over 2 years. Now, maybe I'm wrong on those 2 years, but I know it was a long time. Now, can you attest to $360,000 that was in the bank when our UAN said $16,000 in the hole? Now, can you attest to that?
I can tell you that the multiple conversations I had with Jennifer Woods, she said that the account has $360,000 approximately, give or take, in it, that we need to do bank reconciliations, get bills paid, but the software read that we were negative.
Okay, now, I'm gonna tell you this. I asked Jennifer, and this will be on record, I asked Jennifer if she could swear to that 360,000, and she could not swear to it.
I mean, she did it right here in
Now,
this email.
none of us, not even anybody in this room can swear that we had $360,000 in the bank. And
Well,
that's
since she
the
was the only
problem.
one that was supposed to be messing with the funds, she was the one that had the bank statements. So I'm gonna trust the person that emailed me today and said we had approximately
That's fine.
$360,000.
That's fine. That's your opinion, Lizzie, I'm sorry.
You're mad because you don't like that
I
I
am not
spoke out
mad.
or that I'm transparent and that I don't agree with you.
I am
So
not
I'm
mad.
Then why are you punishing me like I'm
I'm
a
not
child?
punishing you. You're the
turning
one-
this off.
No, I'm not gonna go into it.
Discussion's over, we got a
Yes.
motion and a second.
I was just gonna say that I don't think we should really be punishing someone for.
This is no punishment.
Like, I don't think we should be reprimanding or anyone about something that happened before we got the code of conduct, and we got the code of conduct now. We have a standard that we can uphold people to. I think this just needs to be quashed. And moving forward from now, since we have the code of conduct in, now we can start holding people to a standard. I think it's unfair to shove a standard down Lizzie's throat for saying things that she said online
Which is freedom of speech.
before we had a code of conduct.
Which we're
It's
untrue.
not, wait a minute. It's not freedom of speech when you attacked me saying that I was missing a meeting because I had company coming over. I didn't have company coming over. I had a special needs brother coming from Iowa that flew all the way out here. He needed me to be there.
So, okay, so that would be company. That's a general term.
That's not the same as,
And
it's
regardless,
not the
not
same as
attacking.
having company coming from Hamilton.
I never said where the company was coming.
No,
I said
that's
you were having
the way you
company come over.
implied it. That's exactly
Which is
the way you implied
literally
it.
telling people why they were here, why they weren't here. It doesn't matter the reason. People want to know why we're canceling the meetings. And I'm going to continue to make these posts so that we're transparent.
It'd be fine if you would have put accurate information, but you didn't.
You had company over. It was a general acknowledgement from the email you sent.
It's not the same as
I'm not
having
giving
someone-
personal information of who that company was and how far away they were. It's a general explanation so that the people know.
And it was none of your business.
You didn't have an issue when I did it for Jeff, Laura, and Chad, did ya?
Still none of your business.
Oh, but when your name got put in it, you have a problem.
I missed one meeting, I didn't miss 16. Now,
Let's proceed, please.
you need to
All right,
proceed.
discussion period is over. We got a motion and a second. Roll call. William?
Nay.
Lily?
No.
Becky?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Ted?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
All right. The next meeting will motion on a president of the council.
Oh, I'm sure they've already picked it, so you might as well do the motion now.
All right.
I'm sure you guys have chatted about it. So who am I motioning? Let's get
I
it
guess
taken
I'll go
care of.
ahead and do it then.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure you guys have already got a conversation. Might as well get this show rolling.
I make a motion that Ted Ashman become the president of this council.
I just want to say you guys need 3/4 of a vote, and for 6 people, that's 5. You can check it. if
You need
want.
that for president and council?
Yeah.
Majority? I believe that is a good point.
Before you have to come back and redo something. I'll look it up for you.
Four's a majority, but 5's a super majority, I believe. So we just,
for you?
I'd like to make a statement. We just approved our code of conduct. This is President of Council election, roll and removal. Applicable ORC 731.1. Point 4. The President of Council may be removed from that position for just cause by a majority vote of the members of council. Just cause may include, but not include limited to, failure to perform required duties, repeated violations of the code of conduct, misconduct, or actions that materially interfere with the effective operation of council. Period.
I've read it.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
So it did pass.
Sounds like it did.
Was 4 vote yea, 2 nay. It did pass. Motion was made by Chad, President of the Council. Motion by Dan.
I second.
Discussion. Roll call. Woody. Abstain. Lizzie.
Piss off.
Becky.
Yes.
You can use that against me too, because I don't know shit.
Yes.
Ed. Dan.
Yes.
This council continues to do
She voted.
malicious things to each other and weaponize things when you don't follow the status quo. If you're not a puppet, you get punished. And I find it ridiculous that you're literally becoming the same people you complained about.
Do I get a motion for approval of purchase order?
I'll make the motion to approve purchase
Do
order.
we have purchase orders? I haven't seen any.
We didn't get any?
No?
We get a minutes? Can I get somebody to approve payroll? We did do that.
I'll make a motion to approve payroll.
I'll second it.
Who processed payroll?
Karen Hunt and Mandy Valbrado. They was giving me information by Levon on who could help us with that. They did a good job. They got everybody paid. All right, for